And we have more breaking news. A jury has finally been selected and opening statements are getting started in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Prosecutors are expected to paint Combs as the head of a criminal organization who exploited his fame and fortune to sexually abuse women and men.
The biggest trial in the music world kicks off. Things are already getting intense. Some serious trouble is brewing for him. Singer Al B. Sure just gave an interview, and what he said could change everything. He revealed that he plans to testify against Diddy. And he didn't hold back. Al claimed Diddy had something to do with Kim Porter's death, and even said Diddy might have tried to take him out too. For years, people have been waiting to see Diddy face justice. For a long time, he seemed untouchable, like he could do whatever he wanted in the music industry. In the 2000s and 2010, he was known for being a bully behind the scenes. Al B. Sure was one of the people who had to deal with that. Al and Diddy go way back. In the 1990s, Al B. Sure was in a relationship with Kim Porter. They had a son together named Quincy. But after they broke up, Kim started dating Diddy around 1994. Gene Deal said Diddy actually stole Kim Porter from Al.
You know, him and Al never been the best of friends. He had motherfuckers think that he had adopted Quincy, and he never did. Al was never out of his son's life. I knew Al way back in Mount Vernon. He used to wear leather pants and 100 degrees. With Al. I knew it way back then though, man. Al a good dude. A good dude. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if Al got something to say about that's happening to him and Puff has something to do with, trust and believe he gonna have evidence to substantiate that Puff did that shit. Either he gave him something or sent something his way.
But what was the beef between Al B. Sure and Diddy? Like, why wasn't they on good terms?
And it was dating Kim. You understand? That's his kid's mother. And they was cool, they was friends. Misa and Kim was cool. They was all in that Uptown family, Uptown Records family. How you gonna date the mother of you my man, you cool, we all be around each other, and you dating the mother of my son? Alan never go try to date Misa. You know what I mean?
Diddy even adopted Quincy and raised him like his own. Kim and Diddy stayed on and off until 2007. Later, Diddy admitted they broke up because he cheated. But behind the scenes, there was more going on. Diddy's former bodyguard said Diddy was violent with Kim and other women, including singer Cassie.
A lot of things happened to Kim that she never explained to her father. So to see that girl take that beating like that, her father probably thought within himself, that's some of the things that happened to my daughter. And it had to be sickening to him, knowing that his daughter probably went through the same shit that Cassie went through.
Yeah, he made a comment saying that he was disgusted when he seen that video. He even said that he wouldn't even do a dog like that, the way Diddy did Cassie.
Yeah. His heart would go out to Cassie because he's looking at the fact that his daughter's not here to even raise her own damn kids, man. His daughter's not here in the seat, because I got daughters myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I give my heartbeat, both my arms. And just to imagine and think that somebody was doing that to your daughter, bro. I know Kim got tired. That's why she took that corkscrew and ripped his damn arm out. Tried to rip his arm off for putting his hands on him. I know she was tired. Them pillow fights and that smothering her with the pillows and all that, like he playing with her. I know she was tired.
Yeah, he also told Rolling Stone that Diddy, he's a jealous person that don't know what love is.
He knows that, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody. You understand what I'm saying, bruh? Diddy could do whatever, Puff could do whatever he wanted to do, Brother Love could do whoever he wanted to be. If Kim ever tried to get with somebody, Puff would interfere with them or with her trying to be with them.
He even shared a story about an incident on Sunset Boulevard where Diddy got rough with Kim inside a car, and Kim came out acting like nothing happened. But she stood her ground and warned him not to touch her again, or she'd make sure people saw what he did. This kind of behavior showed a pattern. What Cassie experienced years later wasn't new. Kim had gone through it too. Al B sure said he didn't have an issue with Diddy at first, but things changed when he found out Kim was afraid for her life. She had told him she was scared Diddy would hurt her. Then, in 2018, Kim died suddenly. She had been sick with flu-like symptoms, and the official cause was listed as pneumonia. Diddy went public, saying he was heartbroken over her death. Even though they weren't together, he said he still loved her. But Al B sure didn't believe it. He thought Diddy was faking his grief and may have been behind her death. Al believed Kim was planning to tell the world about the abuse, and Diddy had her silenced.
You seen how Albie Shore, he came out saying that Kim Porter death needs to be looked into?
I think that Al being his ex-wife, he have every right, knowing about the stuff that came out about Diddy and what he was doing. You understand what he has done in the past, and people have overlooked it. By him coming out and saying that he hoped that he could get her case reopened. There was a guy called John Paperwork, the Paperwork Party. They would put in an open petition to get Kim's case reopened. You understand what I'm saying? So I'll be sure doing this is showing that, you know, he still got love for Quincy's mother. He still want to find out the truth because allegedly Kim was fine the day before and the day of her death. And then now she found in the bed dead from pneumonia. That just don't sound right, bro. That don't sound right at all.
So you feel the same way about her death being suspect?
I don't think nobody in America think it's nothing suspicious about Kim's death, bro. If you are rich like that, you could, you know, Kim had, I think a net worth of like, what, 12 million a year or something like that? Kim could have called any doctor to come over and look at her. If she was that bad, you know, she could have called an ambulance or something like that. Everything is suspicious about her death, bruh.
Al spoke out just weeks after Kim passed, calling for an investigation. But people didn't believe him. They mocked him online and said he was just grieving. Still, he kept talking. He said Kim had warned him this would happen. She even showed him a book she was writing to expose everything about Diddy. Many believe this book holds the key to Diddy's darkest secrets.
Diddy was terrified of Kim Porter's book. Just like Jay-Z was afraid of Kathy White's interview. It's funny how things that they're afraid of disappear.
Who you think is next on the chopping block? Because I believe there's a chopping block and there might be...
Oh, there is. Sean Carter. They're trying to avoid him. I'm going to make sure they can't. I have a total of 9 witnesses that are about to start coming forward. I'm going to walk them one by one. But the things that these people have to tell and the video evidence and the recordings that they have,
Wow.
It's worse than Diddy. A lot of psychological operations being ran on employees, former girlfriends, mothers of secret children, interns that refused to sign non-disclosure agreements. Their lives were literally blown to smithereens. I was lucky to survive him. If you really look at their careers, it's just a trail of bodies that they've been stacking up and standing on.
After recovering, he stayed quiet. Until now. Once news broke that Diddy was finally getting sued and arrested, Al B. Sure came forward again. He said he didn't believe his health problems were natural. He thought someone did it to silence him. People still called him crazy, but once Diddy's arrest became real, everything changed. Al took the chance to speak out fully. He posted a message online saying he had been warning people for years, tagging police, trying to protect others, and sharing what Kim had told him before she died. He said her phone and computer had been stolen to hide her book notes that exposed Diddy. Gene Deal confirmed this almost a year ago.
He was telling me before this interview that Dallas Austin, his daughter, was at her house the day she died.
Yo, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report that Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said. But they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case need to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
I ain't know any of that, man. I never heard of that. So when they found her, she had bruises and a lot of her stuff was missing?
Bro, it's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than our house key, a woman gonna keep her phone and she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and you know your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone?
Now Al is demanding a real investigation, not just into Diddy, but into everyone around Kim one of the biggest questions, what happened to Kim's missing device? It was supposedly already part of the case evidence and might hold the truth that's been hidden all this time. Some believe it backs up the details in the newly released court documents. And here's where it gets even more serious. Some of the people tied to this may also be connected to the deaths of other well-known artists. A lot of folks are confused, but people who know the entertainment world say it actually makes a lot of sense.
You gotta realize, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death? How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach. How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home, or her friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and this is hearsay, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at? That the coroner them had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives them that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case need to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to Paperwork, at the Paperwork part. I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? Al ain't no fool, bro. Al is not a fool, and he's smart by getting extra security. I don't blame him at all. If I wasn't retired, I'd probably be working for him.
There's a theory that Kim Porter was silenced because, like Cassie, she was ready to speak up and expose some dark truths. And now that Diddy is finally facing real charges, people are seeing Al B. Sure's past comments in a whole new light. For years, he's been trying to warn everyone. And now his words are starting to hit differently. In a recent interview with Fox News, Al B. Sure said straight up, he believes Diddy was behind Kim's death. Al explained that he had been trying to tell his story for years, but no one listened. In fact, he says there was a huge effort to shut him down, a campaign to ruin his name and make people think he was crazy. He even claims there was a bounty on his head. And now, even though he hasn't volunteered to testify, he says he's been subpoenaed. That means he may be forced to speak at Diddy's trial, and he's ready. He says this isn't some publicity stunt. This is real life for him. He just wants the truth to come out. Al B. Sure believes Diddy still has power, even behind bars. And when asked if he's scared, Al said no. He's the only one who spoke up, and he's still alive. That's saying something. For years, people laughed at Al. They thought he was just making noise. But now, it's hard to ignore him. He's not just pointing fingers. He's saying Diddy tried to kill both him and Kim Porter. And when you think about it, what would Al have to gain from making that up? What's worse is that people have corroborated what Al said with additional details.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to be.
Let me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest. All.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Burgess went on Banfield on News Nation, and he revealed that he was given 11 flash drives that contain alleged sex tapes involving Combs and celebrities. And he said, of the 8 celebrities on the tapes, those who are victims of Sean Combs, they're not perpetrators, victims, he said 2 or 3 were minors, which, as you know, is consistent with a number of allegations in the civil lawsuits that Sean Combs is currently facing. To be clear, though, Combs is currently not criminally charged with anything with respect to minors. That could change, but right now, he's just charged with trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution, but all with respect to adult victims. If there's a superseding indictment, he gets hit with new charges, possibly about victims, we shall see. But this is what brings me to what we're talking about right now. So, Mr. Burgess has claimed that he got these flash drives from the late girlfriend of Sean Combs, Kim Porter, who, as we know, tragically died several years back from what authorities concluded was lobar pneumonia. And that is despite the fact that there have been rumors, both online and in the media, that there is something more to her death. And that, to be clear, totally unsubstantiated. That has been debunked. We've talked about it here on Sidebar multiple times. But putting that aside, here is the other thing with Mr. Burgess. He apparently says he owns the rights to a book that was reportedly based on the alleged memoir of Kim Porter. In fact, according to TMZ, Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that was used.
Kim Porter knew things, serious things, that could have destroyed Diddy a long time ago. If she had gone public, who knows how different things might be. Instead, she's gone, and Al almost was too. Cassie, who recently spoke out against Diddy, may have narrowly escaped the same fate. It's scary to think about. Diddy isn't the only bad guy in Hollywood, but he's one of the boldest, doing his dirt in plain sight while others hide behind closed doors. Do you think he'll ever be served justice? Let us know in the comments below.